Greetings, fellow atheists, all you people who are deconstructing, and others who are in other beliefs but not being religious, and they are still in a journey to find their feet. We are on Atheist Republic, South Africa, and as you know, we've got this particular segment where we do Meeting the Atheist. That's where we meet somebody that is not a religious person and that is out of that model, and now they are with their people, the atheist, so that we should know each other. And I would ask you to participate when there are questions. You can go into the question section and put them there. Even the liking, getting us those hearts, do help so that other people can get to see this live. And also, you can look at the description there when you have other information that you need, and we'll add more as we go to the end of the live. Today I'm with Lungstar Ngwana. May you introduce yourself, Lungstar Ngwana? Who are you?
Hi, hi everyone. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate the chance to share my journey with you. A warm welcome to Ian. Not welcome. A warm hello to Ian and Ntate Bolelang, and to everyone who's tuning in. Whether you guys are, deconstructing or on the common ground or just curious. So my name is Lunga Mpaka. I work in an insurance industry, but outside of that, I spend a lot of time thinking, questioning and finding meaning, mostly questioning what we believe and why we believe in those things that we believe in.
Oh yes, that's an interesting thing that you do. Wanting to know what we believe. We'll get deeper into that as we discuss about it. And what's your background? Where do you come from?
So I come from south of Johannesburg, a small township called Orange Farm. That's where I grew up, born and bred there, the dusty streets of Orange Farm. I come from a religious family. My mom, I was raised by a single
No,
mom
but
who is a
even
devout.
before you pass there, I would just
Okay.
want to start an argument with you. I would say you are on
Oh,
the north of Vereeniging, not south of Johannesburg.
there it says okay. So here's what's happening there. Orange Farm used to be part of Val. So I don't know what happened.
I'm being naughty because I know that now it's gravitating towards Johannesburg and moving away from Val. Yeah, when it started, it was not that big, and it was closer to Val than it is closer to Johannesburg. And
Yeah, so
it's sliding that way. You can see the Johannesburg suburbs, but Vereeniging it's on the other side now.
yeah.
Oh yeah. And your family, do you come from a religious family, or did you come from a family that is inquiring, as you are inquiring?
So I come from a very religious family. I also used to go to church. I was also a devout Christian back then until things happened. So I'm raised by a mom who's a devout Christian. She goes to church every Sunday. Zion Church. Yeah, that's all I can say.
Shame, bakwenzeni iyoni bakubethe ngenduku
No, no.
wahamba.
No, it was not about that.
Are you angry
It
with
was
God?
more.
What happened? Are you angry
So
with God?
okay, so here's what's happening there. The reason I left, my journey into atheism, it wasn't a dramatic move. Ah, something is happening here with. Uh,
Yeah, with
okay,
sound.
can you still hear
It's
me?
back.
Oh, okay, I'm back now.
Yeah, you were cutting.
So oh, okay. So now it's fixed. So, my journey into atheism, it wasn't a dramatic exit, but it was more of the gradual realization of, of observing the things that I was taught, and not, as there's so it was me trying to okay, it was because of my curiosity. So I started having doubts and then decided not to ignore those doubts. So I started
So
questioning God and
a
questioning.
slow motion.
Yeah, it was more like that.
I
Yeah.
never saw you disappear. It was ding, ding, ding.
So
Then after,
the thing is, uh, I was that kind of person who saw that there's something wrong in this world, yeah? But I couldn't figure out what is wrong. So I used to have questions. So the questions that I would ask my pastor, why are things happening like this if when a god who's powerful and knows everything and is everywhere um exists. And then the answers that I used to get, I wasn't satisfied with those answers, so I started digging deeper. And then the other issues that I had there, I experienced there at church, was classism. So I would see people looking down upon others, and then yeah, that led to my curiosity, and I always wondered, and then I thought, then it led me to atheism.
oh yeah. So that means you were not giving the pastor enough money in church, because that's the only condition that we can see classism, because
Yeah,
he's going to give attention to the ones who give much. But
yeah,
funny,
that
I thought Kuti, Ioni, you don't feel that they help each other with money, because it's like a stock fell. I was told that they think about each other there.
Yeah, Zion, and the difference between Zion and the charismatic churches is that as Zion in them, you get you have you build a family there. So it's people that support you. You get all the support that you need. When you're hosting family events or burial, funerals, and
Mhm.
as family assistance in general. So then. The classism started when people started, fleshing out money. The introduction, it's like they introduced the charismaticism to Zion. That's when classism started. So that's when I also felt like, no, man, this is not right, because I'm also from a poor family, and a lot of people who are from the northern suburbs or rich families used to look down upon us. So it just it affected me in a negative way. So I just left church from that day, when I started realizing that, no, man, this is not right.
Tell me, as Ioni, do you get people that are affluent to about rich kakul?
Yeah. um
Because
yeah, and the
you look at it, you see, it looks like a church that is down to earth. They don't put on shoes when they're in there. They're spinning. It looks like they are playing.
I mean, I won't lie, name. The experience that I got from the my church, it's not the kind of experience you would get from other churches. So Vele in Zion, it's nice, it's fun. You get to attend, people's events. You get the chance to show support and all that, and receive and also receive that kind of support that you are giving out. Um, so I do sometimes feel like visiting the church sometime, but it stops me because I have to spend time there listening to the Bible verses and the quotations. So I just tell myself no, but I do still listen to their songs sometimes. Just as they I still have that little bit. I still
Let me tell you.
I'm not
uh,
okay. Oh, you can go on.
I say no. I can vouch that the songs are stubborn.
Yeah, that's one was stubborn, man. Hey,
Yeah.
so I still have that connection. The connection that I get, I can also get it with the songs. I do also get it from other hip hop songs that I listen to. It's not just fixated on the Zion, songs. I just listen to those songs because of the rhythm, the notes, the nice songs. Yeah,
And the goosebumps.
and the goosebumps. Yeah, also that
Yeah.
also.
So what I notice is that the way that religion works, they put in an environment that gives you awe. Uh,
Yeah.
for instance, the churches that you mentioned is Ayoni, is the music and that togetherness. Mabahamba in sync, bonke. Hey, as you talk, and that rhythm in engathi yeah hypnotizer. You can't get that anywhere else.
Yeah.
Sometimes somebody sings so good, you feel not gabanda. And those things, I sometimes ask myself, I say, as humanists, because when you leave one a group that is giving you such feelings, what do you do to keep that type of playfulness, belongingness to people if you don't form something that is not lying but that has those elements? So we do have work to do as humanists,
Yeah.
because there are people
So
that are sitting there that are held by those things that you are talking about: music, uh, big rooms, echo when you sing. If you are in Catholic, that big organ there, all those things, they need to be replaced by things that will also speak to emotions of people once we have touched their intellect. Okay,
okay, so
I interrupted.
okay, so the fact that we now have a community, thanks to you guys, that have joined the group and found some people who with common grounds. So the fact that we have a community, I think that's the start point. We first have to create a community whereby if people live some religions, they do have communities to join which align with their way of thinking now. So that is a great start, building communities. And the other thing is, I have a lot of religious friends, but I don't get to challenge their beliefs because the clapbacks that I would get from them. So I do have
Do they get
religious
physical?
friends. Yeah,
Is
some
it
people
physical or
do.
just verbally?
So both. So others there, they tend to, obviously, when you attack religion, you also attack something. It's like you're attacking them personally because they've placed everything, their faith, belief in that religion. So what I do, to make everyone comfortable and to also feel like make them feel belonging, and try to engage in these topics, um, when they talk about their gods and religion, I don't try to, using combat them the information that I have. But what I do is that I do listen, but do ask them question if they only think that it's their religion that does those things, or their god that does whatever that they say um, their god does. So I do engage with a lot of them. Um, um,
So
is
that
what she-
means we into we Facebook, we are shares about in real life when you are with your friends. You are considerate.
Okay, so I have a colleague now. She knows that
Uh,
I'm brutal when it comes to religion. So she was always telling me that she will pray for me for everything. But I do tell her that okay, I'll also think for you. When you pray, I'll think for you. So
the, the,
so
uh,
every time
what's
she brings
happening
in a
there?
topic, huh?
You get even
So
like that. I'll pray for you. I'll think for you.
yeah, it's the same thing. It does the same thing. Nothing. Because I'm thinking you're also praying. So you're just saying words. I'm also just using my mind and nothing gets gets done. So every time when she brings up religious stuff, for example, saying so there's I applied for a position there where I work from. It's I have an interview on Monday. So she told me that I need to pray hard in order for me to get that position. No, I just told her that no, yeah, I don't need to pray because I don't believe in that. So what I will do is I will prepare enough, so that when I get there, I will be prepared. Instead of just saying words and all that other things, because I don't believe prayer works. I believe in accountability and responsibility. I believe that you have to do something. So a lot of people tend to confuse praying, the results that you get from praying, and the results that you get from doing things. So it's they're confusing correlation with causation. So I know the difference. So I know that in order for me to achieve this, I don't have to just to say words. I have to actually do something about it. If there's a storm coming, flood coming, I don't have to pray that the storm doesn't, flood my house. I have to do the things that will prevent the flood from coming into my house. So she told me that, no, you have to pray about it. And then I asked him, if I believe that prayer worked, I wouldn't have applied for that job. I would have just prayed and not submit my CV, apply for that job, and just see how powerful prayer is. So she always gets that from me. Because
Hayi, uThixo unceda abazincedayo. They will say that.
no, each generation gets its own cliche. So the one that you just mentioned now, it was for your generation. So we they the our generation has the free will. God gave you free will. So my grandma's generation got that prayer without action is useless. You guys got, God help those who help themselves. There's someone knocking. And then we got free will. But all of those things you can do what? Sorry, I'm busy. I'm busy.
Oh yeah, take take
Um,
take. Oh yeah,
okay.
Begete, explain that you are busy. I'll be talking on the other side.
Okay.
Is he gone? Oh yeah.
No, I just have to attend him first. I'll be back now. Fast, quick.
Oh, okay. Beautiful. Yeah, we can see that these things, as he says, they go with generations. Certain excuse, you use it until people see that this one doesn't work. Then
Yeah.
they go into a new one.
So that's what religion does. It's always shifting the goalpost. Remember, there was a time when back then, our ancestors used to believe that gods, you can find gods live in the mountains, and then we
Oh
went
yes.
to the mountains. And then we went to the mountains. We found out no, God is not there. And then they shifted the goalpost and said that no, God is there up there in the clouds. And then aeroplanes were invented. We started flying over the clouds. We saw that no, God is not there. And then they shifted the blame and said no, he's outside of Earth, meaning in space. NASA invented spaceship. We went outside. We can now go to to space. We found out that there's no one there, and they were like, oh, okay, ish. Um, we need to find something that can't be falsifiable. Let's just say God is everywhere.
Oh
Man.
yeah, but also
Now
there's another group that says no, there's a filament. So all these spaceships, they take a picture as it goes up, then after it goes down
it
somewhere.
Yeah, I've came across those conspiracy theories, but it's just that I can't prove if they are wrong or right because I've never been there. But what I can say is that what I can talk about is what I've seen. You know, people going there. All I also try, find it hard to believe that we can really go out of space because of the conflicting information that we get from flat earthers and globe earthers. So those are the just
But here's the question: if that thing at the top is a glass that is closed and water is on the other side of the glass, why don't we get rain without clouds? Why do we have to
oh
get?
yeah.
Because they could just open a hole and water would come from there.
Oh man, you know what? There's another thing that I've read. I've once read in the Bible. God explaining how. The people who wrote the Bible explaining how rain is formed. God. They say it says that God opens the firmament, and then rain just drops and floods. Every place. But thanks to yeah,
Tape or shower head.
something like that. But thanks to science, we've debunked that. We now know what causes rain. Water evaporation. We know what forms clouds now. Since we know that, they've also shifted they like to shift goals. So they're also depending on what we've discovered that okay, since rain is like this, so they no longer preach that verse because it doesn't make sense. So every time we find out something, they just leave it like that. They no longer use it. You know, they focus on another verse. That's why they skip a lot of verses when they preach, because a lot of things that they like to preach about have been debunked by science or reality. So they just move away from that.
Yeah, they keep on tap dancing. They love tap dancing. Ta, ta, ta. You go that way, they go that way, and as long as they are performing, then it's good with them. But the question is, why do they keep on sticking to this thing, even though they see that they have to shift the goalposts? You know,
Um.
it's
Oh.
tiring. Yes, it's
Okay.
tiring.
So we have this thing called God of the Gaps. Human beings, man, we try to find meaning or give meaning to things, and then whatever that we don't know, we just give credit to the unknown being. So there's a lot of things that we've we have discovered that are no longer attributed to gods. So back then, remember, for if I can make an example about rain, we used to have rain gods. So since we've discovered how rain is formed, we've let go of those gods. We're no longer dancing to form to bring rain. We used to have god of harvests, but we've learned agriculture. So we no longer believe in those gods. We used to believe in gods of wind and all that stuff, but every time we found out that what causes water, what causes um, winds, those things. So we no longer believe in those gods. The God of thunder, we know what causes. If you can research or go on Google now, you can. it- It's a plus because we have a chat GPT. You can research there what causes lightning, what causes tornadoes. So it's not divine, divine actions or divine commands. So someone is asking who made me. Who made me? My parents. Two people had to have sex, and after 9 months, you get. That's how I was born. So we've decided to let go of those of those gods. So every time, the things that we attribute to gods are the things that we have not yet discovered how they were created or came to being. So people
Oh
hold
yeah,
on to the god.
the ignorance part we have.
Yeah, it's part of human nature. So since it's part of human nature, we tend to create superstition around those things, and later on metaphors, and then those metaphors become what religion, indoctrination.
Yeah, but then I think then what happens then is that people who are brave enough to say they don't know, then they are comfortable. They become atheists and they don't stick on lies. But there are people who are shy to say they don't know.
So the terms that we get, your atheist, agnotist, and secularist, are the terms that come later on in life, because when you start questioning everything, you don't get those terms. You find them later at a later stage, when you've done your thorough research and found out that these people who believe in things like this, or who don't believe, are called these. So I also didn't identify myself as an atheist, but I was more like, because I was also trying. So I used to have the belief that if Satan exists, then God has to exist. So I also thought, okay, if God exists, then there should be gods for everything. So I got introduced to the term called pantheism, a belief into, if you believe that everything is God. So that was
Mhm.
pantheism. And then as I delved in deep into research, I found out that no, man, actually, I really don't believe, man. So it means I fall under this. So it was first agnosticism, because I just felt like, okay, maybe we can't know if a God exists, or they or exist. And then research again, you find out that no, man, there's no evidence that God exists, and then you graduate into being an atheist.
Yeah, this thing goes get Jenny Ganj. And a lot of people seem to not notice it. They think where you decide to give it a name, that's where you should get stuck. Uh, it's
Um,
like pirates and chiefs who favor this certain club, uphelele lapho. Whether kuvele iMamelodi Sundowns is becoming better, they don't see. Yibhakabhaka or yikhosi, and you
so,
see people stuck there. Hmm.
so it's
Then
okay. Oh,
mm,
okay. You can go on.
no, 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 no. I don't want to interrupt your idea.
Oh, okay. So what I was trying to say is that it's okay to not identify yourself using the those terminologies, those terms or titles, atheist and um, agnostic or secularist. If you really don't, you have not reached the point where you can fully say that you are an atheist. So I took long to call myself an atheist because of the stigma or the perception that people have about atheists. So I decided to distance myself from that title, because I also didn't know what it meant deeper. I only knew the definition, but I also had to research what's behind, the word atheist. What is it?
Don't tell them we eat children.
Ah, man, that's what they believe.
and,
So, um,
and we
you
do
know,
all sort of things. We go to forests, we dance naked there.
so you know what the
But those are rumors
misconception.
that are spread by people who make people to be scared. And
So, if you get your reasons or definitions from someone who feels like if they give you the real definition, it means you will move away from their belief, and then it will no longer be relevant. They will give you their biased, reasons or
exactly.
definition. Yeah. So remember, religion. If you are religious already, you are in a system that promotes fear. So if someone tells you about, if someone explains atheism as that monster, devil worship and those kind of stuff, obviously you will be scared. But it's not like that. If people do their research about atheism, secularism, and agnosticism, they will find out that no, uh, we do have people out there who are secular. We even have countries, you know Europe itself now, it's moving away from religion. um, and you will
Yeah, they are
notice
secular.
that.
Most people are secular there.
Yeah, so they are moving away. So you will notice now, when something is introduced to society, they also introduce terms to describe anyone who's against, whatever that they are introducing. For example, Islam. In you have people in Europe or UK who are called Islamophobist, people who fear Islam, but they do not fear Islam. It's just that they don't want that religion there because they are moving away from religions. So,
Yeah,
you
and in fact, that's a trick,
okay?
because the people who pushed for the word Islamophobia, it's the Muslims themselves.
You see,
Uh,
so
they even got it to be defined at United Nations organization. So
what?
yeah, Islamophobia is a real thing that is written in the books of law in the United Nation organizations, and that was a trick, because there's nothing like Islamophobia. If I don't agree with your idea, every idea should be open to criticism. But with
Yeah,
them, they can
scrutiny.
shout Islamophobia. And they've
So
got a target to become the most dominant group in 2050,
yeah, because it's spreading wide. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it gets into what it becomes the world religion now. Um, okay, I fear for other people, but as long as the atheist community exists, because we are not biased, we are not choosing religions. When I say I'm an atheist, it means I don't believe in every religion, no matter how you try to, define it. It just has to make sense. So if it doesn't make sense, and if it infringes people's rights, it decides how people have to live, then we don't need, that kind of a religion. We just want
Yes.
people to be free.
And
Yeah.
that is why when people ask you, hey, you are atheist, you don't believe in God, why don't you shut up and shush there? That is why we tell them, no, we cannot. We cannot,
Man,
because the things that you are talking are dangerous to society. For instance, imagine if we can have
yeah,
Sharia law in South Africa, what is
law.
going to
I
happen
know
to
that law.
us?
I've researched about it.
They, they will get rid
So
of us.
but I don't believe. You know what? I don't believe that um, this specific religion will become a world religion, since our constitutional law itself is a secular law. So we are being protected. So we do have rights, to practice
No,
and
no.
not practice.
You might find uh, constitution being secular, but people not practicing that secularism, because there are still schools that pray, you know. Uh,
Yeah,
they
and
just
that's
changed
supposed
the
to be
school.
discussed.
They say now it's not a government school; it's a private school. Then we are going to satisfy the needs of the SGB. So
Oh,
then they pray in the morning. They have not religious studies. They have Bible studies, or they have uh, Islamic studies at the school. So yeah, they are what do you call them? Gaps where they can practice their things, and they once they find a gap, they get in there and expand. So yeah, our constitution is not safe. It can be
oh.
changed. Yeah, what can keep us safe? It's for us to become assertive
It's- yeah,
and never
and
to keep
become
quiet. Keeping quiet is very
so.
dangerous.
So we should encourage critical thinking and advise. So what I did, my brothers are also atheists. They were also devout Christians themselves. So I taught them on how to, they used to read the Bible. I don't know, man, what spell we were under reading the Bible and not seeing the problems or issues in the Bible. But I told them
I
to read
don't
the
think
Bible.
it's a spell, because when you are young, you are taught that the Bible is a good book and it's associated with a good somebody God. And most of the time when we grow, we don't read it. I started reading it when I was around 17. Before
Okay.
that, I was reading verses that I was given by the church or my parents. So by the time you get into it, let's say you're 17, already you've got that solid foundation that this is a good book. It will take
Then
time
you won't
before you
see.
open your eyes. But
Ah,
the more you
man.
read it, the more the eyes open.
Okay.
But at the beginning, you don't believe it.
Yeah. So I've came a lot of across a lot of atheists who told me that they became atheists because of reading the Bible. So that's what I tell my brothers to know what, if you feel like the Bible is the good book, then you have to read it objectively with an open mind. Start where it starts from. You will see that and a lot of things you know there's more inconsistencies there. And so remember, in church we are taught that God is good all the time. So when you read the Bible, you will struggle to reconcile what you are taught there at church with the image
Mhm.
of God the character of God that you read about in the Bible. So
God is
I think
good
all the
all the
time
time.
they say that. So people have to know that we are not attacking them personally when we question religion. We're trying to encourage critical thinking, and if
Mhm.
everyone is open minded and they do think critically, then there's no there won't be fear of the unknown or fear of the afterlife. Um, People will just live in harmony. There will be there will be we will have justice, and people will be held accountable. People will start realizing that they are responsible in some aspect of their life. um yeah, in the Old Testament, God has that temper. So um
I akadlali yena vele.
yeah, but
You do something. Uh, but that fear is there, and
um
mina, you said uphume eZion, mina
we do
ngifuna
have
ukuza
apologetics,
eBhabhiloni.
religious apologetics who There's a call coming in.
Did did I hear voice?
Okay, bro. Yeah, sorry. There was a call. Someone was calling me,
Oh, okay,
but
okay.
it's
No, I
fixed
thought
now.
the Holy
So
Spirit. I thought the Holy Spirit was among us.
now they're trying to disturb me. um,
Okay.
um. So if we encourage critical thinking, um, and let people know that no, we're not attacking you guys. We just attacking what you believe in because your beliefs are not always 100% truth. Beliefs can change anytime. So if you want us to push something because implement something because of your beliefs, then man, then we will have some issues with that. Because beliefs are not tested, and most of the time the things that religious people implement are not up for questioning. So it becomes a huge problem if we cannot scrutinize what's being implemented, and just we just have to follow whatever that is being implemented. So we're not attacking
Yeah,
them
scrutinize.
personally. Huh? Oh,
I say scrutinize.
yeah,
You
we have
see,
to.
humans I love. Humans I love. Almost all humanity I love. Maybe there are a few Hamorses that are problematic, but I know even them. There's something that is making them to be like that. Uh, Ideologies are a problem, as you say.
Big
Uh,
problem,
when
yeah.
when we talk like this online, your Facebook posts, they are not poking at people, they are poking at the ideas that they have subscribed to in their heads. And you even hit at something that is going to show them that they cannot separate themselves from the ideas,
Yeah.
which help.
So I like the fact that you mentioned that ideologies are a big problem. We've seen wars. Have you realized that every war that's happening, man? No country invades another country without mentioning that it's their God who told them to do so. So the wars that are happening, every country says, no, it's our God who said we must do this. So that's where the problem begins. So we have to fix that
Uh,
She's calling again.
oh yeah, you are starting to freeze. I think one of the gods is not pleased with what
So
you're saying.
I keep on getting calls from this. Okay, it's my partner, so she keeps on calling me. I hope she doesn't think I'm cheating or. So
Oh, so you never told her that you'll be having 45 minutes that you need to yourself.
okay, so it's our relationship is starting now. It started last week, so we
Oh,
don't.
that's a
Yeah,
shoo.
so it's a so it's a new relationship, honeymoon phase. So she keeps on calling.
I
I'll
wish
call her back.
I wish you well.
Okay, so there's another thing that I would like to talk about now. Um, remember, firstly, I just want to thank science. You know, not all of when I say science, I'm not talking about scientists. I'm
Oh,
talking
yeah,
about science itself.
because people
Observing
think
and
that
testing things yourself.
even there we support people. No, Mm, science is just
Yeah,
a
we also
method.
question science. Which we don't just accept things. We do question a lot of things that get passed on to us. So even if a scientist says something, we don't just take it on face value. We do research, do our own research about it. So, but thanks to those scientists who came up with, the health system, you know, um, because if they didn't, um, we will still have, churches that preach about demon possession, so back in the days, Ntate Bolelang, religious people used to believe that when a person is sick, that person is demon possessed. Ne? So
Mm,
you would have people who have epilepsy, who would die, during the course, because they didn't get the proper
amen.
help that they needed.
Mm,
We have, because of science, we now have, terminology for all the diseases, your dementia, your amnesia. um, so where I'm from, I'm from the township. It's black. It's a black township, so we still have people who believe in superstition, who believes that when a grandma, or an elderly person, is lost, or can't
oh
even
yeah,
explain why they are lost. But the term is dementia, but they will just believe that no, that person is, obambekile. It's witchcraft, and
oh
then
yeah.
yeah, witchcraft
When you have
accusations.
problems like that, you must contact me because I'm with an organization that deal with protecting people who are accused for witchcraft.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah,
Because now, I think as soon as we address, these situations, or as we keep on addressing these these problems, I think people will wake up. But we should start first by, pointing where it started from. It's from religion. Religion didn't have the medical terms for all the sicknesses. Um, Even if HIV was existed back in those days, it wouldn't be called HIV. It would be called a demon possession, and the
yeah.
person who got HIV wouldn't get the medical assistance that they needed at that time. So
It would have some satanic name,
yeah, it will have
some
the
very
satanic
satanic
name, and
name.
then you don't get the help that you need. But thanks to science, and thanks to the health system, we no longer have to accuse people of witchcraft. Okay, a lot of people still do, but as long as we keep on educating them, then it won't be the case in future. So
Yeah.
people used to get
And
epilepsy.
it's not that only. You see, it's accusing other people of witchcraft, but also we have a prize for a person who can come and show us their
Proof.
witchcraft. Yeah, it's close to 200,000 rands. If they want to be loaded, they should come and show us their witchcraft.
I doubt they will, because
It has been
a lot
studied
of
like that for years now.
yeah, a lot of accusations don't come with evidence. They If someone accuses you of something, then we are supposed to believe it, and then we stone people to death, mob justice, and it's not the right thing to do. We just have to
Yeah,
know, we are not doctors, but when I see an elderly person lost, or just standing and not knowing what to do, we know that okay, there could be something. So there's also disorders. Then there's a disorder called hoarding disorder, whereby a person
it's called
collects
what?
things.
Oh,
Hoarding.
hoarding.
I'm not sure.
Oh,
Yeah, hoarding. Yeah, disorder, when someone collects things or keeps things, for later use, but they really don't know if they will need it in that
yeah. There's a
future.
bed called. Is it Maman or something? There's a bed like that also. It takes
Yeah,
everything
so
and leaves that.
yeah, we have elderly people who collect stuff, keep them in their houses. It's not witchcraft. They just have that disorder. It needs medical attention. So I don't know why we have those terms for, those sicknesses and everything, but we don't really have the terms to describe the sicknesses, the mental sicknesses that people that who go to church have, because a lot of people there, I can tell you
Uh,
something that
I've
it's
got a theory.
whatever that. Okay.
Uh, I think this condition affects so many people, and if it can be declared a mental disorder, our medical institutions won't be able to cater for it because there are so many
Oh,
people. Yeah,
oh
it
yeah,
will
there's
create a
there's a lot.
mayhem more than what COVID cost uh, for the need of respirators and things like that. You remember?
Yeah, yeah, the system was bombarded. Yeah.
Imagine all the people that will be needed, tents that will be put in place, psychologists that need to sit with these people, ask them questions. It will be a mess. And
Yeah, it
you'll
will
find
be
that
math. Yeah.
some of the psychologists themselves are sick themselves.
It's called. um. So
Don't start with that one.
if we have terms like hallucinations, illusions, why can't we? Why do we draw the line when it's church people who are going through those situations? Pella, remember
There are
we
too
have
many.
people. Yeah, we
There are
have
too
people
many.
now. If you go to Google and Google the definition of hallucination, you will be shocked. Guti. It's you've been seeing it. Observing people do have that mental problem. You will hear someone who will say to you, "God told me to do this," but is it
Ex-
really God?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
When they want you to do something, they always start it with that line.
yeah, God told me to do something.
My
So that
son, I saw you yesterday in my dreams, and God said this and this and this about you. And
the
if
angels
you
are working.
have,
So
yeah,
you know
a
what now?
lot of
Um,
stories.
um, so when I think we should make it a norm, to tell someone who says to you, "God told me to do that." I think we should ask them if it is it really God, or maybe and are they hallucinating? Because the reason God is not talking to me is because I don't have that mental, symptom, or
You are not chosen.
it's,
You are not chosen.
oh man, yeah.
Do you doubt God? Huh?
So,
They will send it.
uh,
They will send it towards you. They will hit you with it
but
because
if they say that, doesn't that contradict that God is all powerful? Because if God is all powerful, then you don't need nothing would stand in
chooses
his
his
way.
people. He chooses his people, and he chose me.
Oh
He chose
man,
me. You've got a
to tell.
problem with God choosing me, and now can you see Satan is possessing you? Can you see things that you do that Satan is?
Ah man. So
Then they will
so
gaslight you.
um okay, the other thing there I think that should be addressed is that when we say that um we don't believe that your God exists, it doesn't mean my lack of belief in your God doesn't mean I believe in Satan. Satan is
Oh
part of
yeah.
your religion. Yeah, it's part of your religion. So if I don't believe in the existence of your God, I also don't believe in the existence of Satan. I've never had any
But
experience with
they
Satan.
love you so much. They love you so much that they created themselves a god, and they created a god and gave it to you.
They're not giving it to me. He's now my problem. So and then the other thing is that I don't believe in heaven and hell. I don't believe that heaven is a physical place. I don't believe that hell is a, also a physical place, because if you think about it, put logic to it, those places, it doesn't make sense. If you go to Google now and check what heaven looks like, we already have pictures of heaven now. So you see that it's, imagine, humans invented buildings, humans invented roads, humans invented, jewelry and, streetlights and everything that's on earth. So if you you search how heaven looks like, you will see that, man, it's just a human invention. Because there's buildings there, there's roads, meaning it
Yeah,
means you will have a
but
car.
on top of clouds.
It's on top of clouds again. And then they tell you that there's also hell. It's also a physical place where the person goes, and gets burned for eternity. But the reality, so I'm struggling to say, to understand. Um, we see that people get buried 6 feet under. No one has ever been buried 1,000 feet or millions feet under, until, get buried there where the lava is from. Magma. Do you know magma from the one that
Yeah,
creates lava and volcanic eruptions? No one has ever been, no hole has ever been dug that deep to bury someone. It's always 6 feet under, and then the body gets rotten. Those it gets
you hit
eaten by
maggots
those,
and yeah,
yeah, my gods. So it doesn't make sense, and then they will tell you that, okay, when they're good with the shifting the goalpost, they will say, no, it's not the body that goes to hell, it's the soul. But what is the soul? They can't, they can't explain what is a spirit, what is a soul.
yeah.
So you always get um contradicting, definitions. But let's assume that a soul is breath, spirit or soul is breath, né? But
Hmm.
can you ban breath? Remember, fire is a natural
And
element, né?
where does it have the nerves to feel the pain?
Oh man,
Because
nerves.
pain, we feel it with the brain. Yeah, it's all stories for people who would like to grow up, who'd like to think these things are easy to break away from. But most people, they don't want to wake up to reality. Hey, our time is fast
Yeah, I
coming
can
to
see.
an end, but it's important that people keep contact with you because meet the atheists. The purpose is that other people should know you. So,
Oh, okay.
where can other atheists get hold of you?
I have a Facebook account by the name of Lungstar Ngwana.
The second,
And the second one,
yeah,
the
is
second,
it not
okay.
written Lungstar Ngwana the second?
Oh yeah, Lungstar Ngwana the second. The reason I changed my name to that, it was because at first my name was, I used to call myself Reverend Lungstar, and
Yeah,
then
because your handle is still Reverend Lungstar, and your clothing
yeah,
still. Uh,
yeah.
I, I respect you. I can see you are revered.
So it was because, remember, I was a devout Christian back then, so I used to call myself that. And then Facebook told me to change my name into, remove the Reverend title. So it was Lungstar Ngwana, and then I couldn't change it back, to whatever name that I want to change it to, because now it's just fixed there. I can't change it back, so it doesn't give
Wait,
me the
Facebook
option to
said
do that.
you should change that name.
Yeah, it doesn't allow me. I'll show you one day. And then the other name, the other account, I go by my original name, Lungampaka. And then I'm also on TikTok. I'm planning to do, to create content there, secular content. Um, um, I'm just trying to, you know, have the right equipment to do content there. So on TikTok, my name is L, but you can search me by my original name as in Lungampaka, and then you'll find me there. Yeah, that's all.
Okay. No, that's beautiful. There's a lot that we have not touched, and in future we will have another discussion. You've got a lot to say. So, but yeah, for today, because of the time constraints, we have hit our 1 hour mark. We have had a very beautiful time with you, and it was a pleasure to know you.
Um,
Haibe, Haibe Borok.
okay, thank you for inviting me. I'll also be joining tomorrow, but not live. I'll attend the session with Eric and Chris Malad. Thank you for
Okay,
inviting me. Thank you.
thank you.
Sharp, sharp.